Volunteers are vital to our operation here at Shell Point. They not only make things move smoothly, they are such a comfort to our residents in the Larson Pavilion. Recently I met with Vicki Hall and we talked a little bit about how long she's been at Shell Point, her family history here, and what she enjoys about volunteering in the auxiliary at the Larson Pavilion. So Vicki, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, you're welcome.
And so how long have you lived at Shell Point?
A little over 2 years now.
Okay, and you're a member of the Larson Pavilion Auxiliary, and how long have you been doing that?
Just recently.
Okay.
Since September. No, just recently I've been on it.
Okay. So when we were talking, you mentioned to me that your father lives here at the Pavilion.
Yes, he does.
And where is he at?
He's on the 3rd floor here, yes.
And before that, he lived where?
He was at King's Crown, and before that he started out at Coquina. And he lived at Coquina for 3 years and King's Crown 2 years. And he moved here in November 2010 after my mom had passed away in late June of 2010. And so prior to that, that was in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And
so tell me why your dad chose Shell Point.
Well, his brother, younger brother, lived here, and his brother's 10 years younger than him, and he and his wife lived here. And Dr. Gordon Cathy is my uncle, and he was a missionary in Vietnam for about 4 or 5 years during the 60s. And then he was on the board here for a while, and they had lived here for 15 years. And my dad wanted to move here because his brother lived here. And he didn't want to burden his children, and so he decided to move here. And I wouldn't be here if my dad hadn't moved here, so that puts me here.
So tell me what volunteer activity you do here at the Pavilion.
Well, I work in the mailroom. I'm not a full-time mailroom person yet, but I may be one day, but I really enjoy that. I enjoy what I can do to help, and I enjoy working in the mailroom. And when some people can't, for some reason, if they're out of town or not feeling well, they may call me and ask me to sub for them, and I enjoy doing that. So I try to help out when I can.
Great. And then before or after you volunteer, you get to visit your dad.
I sure do. He's on the 3rd floor, so I do that, yes.
So when we have people on Monday, March 5th come into the Pavilion that have never been here before, you're going to be one of our volunteer greeters. What would you say to folks that have never been here before and are thinking about volunteering?
Well, they need to, or I would think they would need to at least go around and look at all the possibilities that they could. There are a lot of different possibilities of volunteering here at the Pavilion, and from doing mail or just delivering the mail or helping out with drinks and a lot of different things, and they can see what there is and see if there's a possibility that they may be interested in doing those things, and maybe some that I don't even know of.
Right,
so,
right.
There's library too, I think.
Yes.
So, yes.
I think we have 13 or 14 committees. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot that I don't know of. So it would be good that, to see what there is.
Thanks so much for joining us today. I know that when folks hear your story, they're going to be inspired to come over and take a tour of the Pavilion on March 5th and see what it's all about. And you'll be here to answer questions along with a lot of other volunteers. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So mark your calendars, Monday, March 5th from 10 to 12, 10 a.m. to 12 noon that is. Here at the Larson Pavilion, we will have our auxiliary members at the doors to greet you, and we'll have guides to guide you around the pavilion. We're going to have some coffee and some lovely breakfast Danish, and give our friends and neighbors here at Shell Point the opportunity to meet other neighbors that volunteer at the auxiliary and get a tour of all 4 floors of the Larson Pavilion and really see what the auxiliary is all about. So we'll see you on Monday.